Class, today we are going to compare two different animals. So we're going to learn all about one, and then we're going to learn all about another. We're going to compare a husky to a fox. And these are two special animals, a special kind of a husky. It's called a Siberian Husky. And then a fox. So we're going to read about these two and compare them, which means we're going to look at how they're the same and how they're different. Okay, so kind of a compare and contrast. The story I'm going to read is called Cold Dog, Hot Fox. Right away, let's make some predictions. Remember, we're working on making predictions as we read. What's going to come next? What's going to happen last in the story? Okay, so make a prediction if it's called Cold Dog, Hot Fox. And we're comparing and contrasting. I'm already thinking up some things in my head of maybe where the dog lives, if it's Cold Dog. And then also, well, if the dog lives somewhere maybe cold, does that mean the fox lives somewhere hot? So already we're able to make some predictions, and then we get to find out the answers as we read. Okay, so Cold Dog, Hot Fox. This is an expository text, which means we get lots of real good facts and information as we read. So it's a fun story talking about real life animals. All right, before we begin, there is a very cold place in Asia. It is called Siberia. The climate there is harsh. You know what that word means? If a climate, which means the weather, the temperature, it's harsh. So that means it's tough, it's rugged, it's either hot or cold, depending on what we're talking about, but Siberia, it's cold. Okay, in winter, the temperature is far below freezing. Here in Florida, we don't get towards freezing where there's snow and ice, and you have to bundle up in all the insulating materials we've talked about in science. The scarves, the hats, everything to keep us cozy and warm. So here in Siberia, which is in Asia, the wind is strong. Few animals can live there because of the weather conditions. So when you think of that word harsh, you mean it's rough, it's tough, it's dangerous, okay? So we're going to read first about a Siberian Husky. Scroll down in the lesson 2, and I'm going to post pictures of what a Siberian Husky looks like, okay? So the Siberian Husky is a kind of dog. It has body parts that help it adapt to very cold places. So when the wind and the snow blow, the dog squints its eyes. They're wide open, and then you squint your eyes. That's what the dog has to do. Even with its eyes almost closed, it can still see. Also, as we go, let's remember our essential question. Do you remember our essential question, which is what can we learn from animals in our story? So already we're learning facts. We're learning about the husky, where the Siberian Husky lives, the conditions, what he does with his eyes. Look at all these answers we're already getting to our essential question, okay? A husky's fur has two parts. The bottom part is very short hair. The top part is long hair. The longer the hair keeps water off the dog. Okay, so both kinds of hair serve a purpose. The long hair keeps the water off of the dog's body. And it works kind of like a warm raincoat. You know when it's rainy here in Florida, we put on our boots maybe, or a jacket where we can put up a hood up and over our head. The Siberian Husky has long hair that does that. It protects them from the cold rain. The dog's tail is bushy and fluffy. A husky can wrap its tail around its face when it goes to sleep. Its tail helps keep his face warm. So it's like a built-in blanket. He can wrap himself in his tail and keep himself cozy. If you look at the bottom of a husky's paw, at the very bottom, you will see a black pad and fur. The paw helps the dog stay warm. So already, he is already created and designed in a way to survive these harsh conditions in Siberia. All right, so we're going to compare that husky and what his body does, how he survives, to another animal. So a fennec fox. Life in the heat. The Sahara Desert is in Africa. So first we're talking about Asia. Now we're talking about Africa, a different continent. Summers there are very hot and dry. Okay, so if we're also thinking comparing and contrasting, very cold in Siberia, cold, cold wind, rain, ice, snow. In Africa, in the Sahara Desert, it's hot, it's dry. Let's learn some more, okay? Remember that essential question as we go too. Let's answer and find out what these animals are teaching us, okay? So few animals can live in the Sahara Desert as well because of its conditions. A fennec fox has body parts that help it live in hot, dry deserts. The fox has big ears, really big ears, and they help extra heat leave the fox's body. Wow. The fox's ears also have hairs that trap sand and hold the sand. The sand does not blow then into the fox's big ears. Can you imagine if we had big, huge ears and we were at the beach and the wind blew and we got sand down in our ears and it's so hard to get that out? That would be so hard to get the sand out of our ears. This fox has little hairs that stop the sand. Isn't that neat? The fox has thick fur. The fur is the color of the sand. The fox also has a furry tail, and it wraps its tail around its body to protect it from the heat. Do we know another animal that wraps its tail around it to protect it? Maybe not from the heat, but that might be a similar and something different. Yeah? The fennec fox is nocturnal. What does that word mean? Nocturnal. It sleeps during the day, which means it's awake when? It's awake at night. And it eats at night as well. The fox's feet have hair on the bottom. Hair on the bottom, and the hair protects the fox's feet from the hot sand as it walks. The fox also uses its feet as a tool. It digs holes in the ground and it stays in the hole during the hot day. The fox comes out at night when it's cooler. So he's adapting and he's adjusting to that hot, hot climate. All of these features help the fennec fox live in the desert. So we're going to think of the Siberian Husky and the fennec fox. And we're going to compare. We're going to write ways that they are same or similar, maybe not exactly the same, and then ways that they are different, okay? So we're going to figure that out. We're also going to answer this question. How do these animals survive in very cold places and very hot places? So what are some of those things that they do to survive, that their body is equipped with? They're born with ways to protect them against the harsh conditions of either the cold or the heat. So we're going to answer those questions. I want you to scroll down and look at the pictures too. I'm going to put pictures so you can see the husky and the fennec fox and kind of get a good visual of what these animals both look like. Enjoy and think too how we can answer that essential question as we go, okay? The essential question, what did these animals teach us within this story? I look so forward to reading your responses. We're going to have 2 additional stories on these animals in Epic as well for you to look and read and see more pictures, okay? Please send me any questions in Dojo. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.